So I think last year, DLT had a case exclusive trapper that was a clip point blade of stainless, true sharp steel with green micarta handles and everything. And they just released this case exclusive, which is basically the same thing. It's a one bladed case trapper with this green micarta handle covers, but instead of a clip point blade, it has a Wharncliffe blade, which is probably my least favorite blade shape. But the exciting thing about this for me and some other people probably is that it's tang stamped CS, which means carbon steel. From what I understand, Case is moving away from CV or chrome vanadium, which a lot of us aren't really sure what the makeup of was, and now they're just calling it carbon steel. Somebody commented on one of my videos and said that they're switching to 1095. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't been staying up on the case world because recently I've been, disappointed with a lot of case knives. But this one, honestly, is pretty good. The action on it, very good. The cool thing about it being a Wharncliffe is you can pinch it open. I would have preferred pretty much any other blade shape. I would have liked a sheep's foot slightly more than this. I would have really liked a clip point or like a spear blade. That would have been awesome. But you get what you get. This is gonna be awesome for opening boxes and stuff and like little utility things. But the reason why I don't really like Wharncliffe blades, or I mean even sheep's foot blades, I really do like sheep's foot blades as like a secondary, but I don't like them as just the only blade I have because I can't really cut sandwiches with them, which is like a serious use case for me. I cut a lot of sandwiches in half because I eat a lot of sandwiches. Um, and it's kind of hard to do when you have a blade with a straight edge like this instead of, a blade that curves, which is a lot easier to cut sandwiches with or cut things on a flat surface with. This is more better for like opening boxes and kind of like fine tip detail work and stuff. Um, but yeah, knife's pretty well made. The green micarta looks awesome. I like it. You get this cool double X shield here, which looks really nice. Brass liners. The bolster is brushed instead of being like a high polish, which is kind of cool. This is definitely has more of the feel of like a working knife than most traditional case knives, which are like super high polish and everything. And they're meant to put in a display case and look nice. It seems like this finish on here is it's more of like a brushed finish. There are a lot of scratches on this blade. I think it came that way. But that's not something I'm concerned about because, I'm going to use the knife, so it's going to get scratched up and everything. So it's not really something I care about. Action on it is very good, like I said. The only real like defect with this knife is this gap right here. And it is a fairly substantial gap, but the gap goes away once you get up to the bolster, and the blade has no blade play like at all. So I will take it. This gap here that is fairly substantial. In fact, you can probably, if I do this, yeah, you can see through the gap. So it is a fairly substantial gap, but even you can see here it starts to go away once you get up towards the bolster. Um, so there's a gap between the liner and the back spring, but it's not really a gap that I see that's going to affect the actual use of the knife or anything. So I'm really not that worried about it. That being said, if I wanted to get rid of that gap, I guess the way to do that would be to probably like put the pin on like a anvil with a ball peen hammer and hit these two pins here and try to get it flush. But I don't care that much, especially for a knife that, I'm just gonna put in my pocket and use and everything. But that is the only real defect. This is one of those deals again where if Case could produce a knife like this all the time, I would be very happy with them. The problem is that, you know, sometimes Case puts out a knife that there's no reason it should have passed any kind of quality control or anything. Like that swell centers, that small swell center jack that I did the video on. If you haven't seen that one, you know, that one was awful. It had like a gap between the cover and the bolster, which is the first time that I've ever seen that on a Case knife, because usually Case does their handle covers really well, because, you know, that's really like kind of what they're for, is for, you know, showing off their good looking knives and everything. So I was very disappointed with that knife, and I haven't really bought a regular Case knife. I did buy a Case Bose Stockman, which I'll do a video on at some point when I get around to it. But when I saw this, I decided that I wanted it because, you know, it's a single blade trapper, and it's not, you know, a standard trapper with a clip point and a spay blade. I would have preferred a single clip point, but this knife is certainly more interesting than just a regular trapper or a single point or a single bladed clip point. And once again, it is in carbon steel, so I was excited about that. So anyway, knife appears to be put together pretty well. I'm happy with it for what I paid and everything. And if you want one of these, you have to get them from DLT Trading. So I don't know how long they'll last, and I don't know if the knife you'll get will be as nice as this one. But I certainly hope if you get one, yours is also nice. But anyway, it's going to be it for this video on this DLT exclusive Case trapper. And I will see you guys in the next one. And I hope you have a good day.